We are here at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, Illinois, in the United Center, in the house that Mike built, and my guest is A. Scott Bolden, chair of the National Bar Association PAC and attorney extraordinaire.
Yes,
my brother.
I like that.
Man, it's good
to be here.
It's good to see you, Scott. So let's start with a question that I've been asking a lot of my guests, and that is, what is in this 2024 election for the communities of color? Why should they care?
Well, they ought to care because leadership at the top that looks like us, sounds like us, and is for us, and only for us, is super important. The economy is the number one issue here, inflation, right? And at least the bullet point proposals on the economic side that Kamala Harris has proposed are targeted for the least, the lost, and the left out, the working class, the middle class. You know, inflation is at a higher level, even though wages are outpacing inflation right now in the last, say, 3 or 4 months. So inflation's trending downward. What isn't trending downward is housing. And the ability that young people don't believe they have the ability to pay off their student loans. They also don't have the ability, in their opinion, to buy their first home. You know, that is the one piece of wealth, no matter what, that this country stands on. If you have nothing else and you got a job, if you have a home, you can pay your bills.
You have an asset.
You have an asset, a big asset. And you can also finance a high school as well as college education for your kids. That's super important, not just to black people, but to brown people and all people of a non-color too. So it's an important issue. And then she's going to look out for the least, the lost, and the left out. She's going to look out for the black and brown communities because she's always looked out for them. She's always led and then always fought for the people. That's important. And so, yeah, that's what's in it for our communities of color.
There's an awful lot of energy in this space.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, had this been held then, there would not have been that level of energy.
Yeah.
How does the campaign, how do they leverage that energy and how do they build on that, the momentum, and carry that forward through November 5th?
Well, they got 500 million reasons to continue to step forth. That's a lot of money and a lot of organization. Just putting her foot to the pedal, the pedal to the metal, driving that success, driving that message, and more importantly, driving get out the vote. You see, in the end, campaigns and politics are pretty simple.
Right.
You got to get one more vote to the next guy.
Right.
It ain't never stopped. That's all it is, right? And so your ground game, energizing your base is one thing, but getting your base to the polling in swing states and beyond. That's what this campaign is all about. Energy helps a lot. Volunteers help a lot. White dudes for Kamala Harris help a lot.
Right.
Asian women for Kamala help a lot. And you see all these groups of color and non-color coming together because they were looking for an alternative. This is a country starving for decency, decent leadership. You want to make America great again, let's get rid of the divisiveness and let's talk about the middle. Because the far left and the far right, they have their challenges, but most of Americans are in the middle, and they want both sides to work well together to create a better America in search of a more perfect union. Kamala Harris and Waltz do that for us. And so I think that's where the energy comes from. And that's what they got to do. They got to get them to the polls and not just win, but win big. So there's no challenge to their Democratic success.